call themselves Franciscolian. That's it? That's how it seems?
That's how it sounded.
Perfect. So she has a group of guides that she's working with, and how fortunate to have that, and that she's open to it. Reverend Laura's work with Franciscolian led to her writing her first book, which is comprised of guidance from this group of guides. The title of her book is Spiritual Guidance for the Physical World, and it was published in January of 2020. And there are a few copies of Laura's book in the bookstore, and if you'd like to look at it and purchase it, and she would be very happy to sign it for you. Reverend Laura is currently illustrating her first children's book called Princess Everly and Her Magical Friend. This book is especially important to her because it uses affirmations to help children strengthen their self-confidence. And boy, is that something we know about here. Like, we use affirmations a lot, and how fabulous it would be to have, it would be and is, for the kids who get to have this introduced to them at such a young age and can start using it right away. Fortunately for us, Reverend Laura began attending our temple sometime in the fall, and she was coming to services late fall and through the winter. And tonight she's speaking here for the first time. She's spoken in the past, but she's speaking here for the first time. And she also has agreed to share readings during the message portion of our service. So the title of her talk this evening is Change the way you look at life and watch your life change. So if you would help me welcome Reverend Laura to our platform this evening.
It's so neat to be on this side. I feel like I'm backstage at a theater or something. It's really cool. Thank you. It's like such an honor. You guys are such a sweet church. I really am so happy. I feel like you're my family. I really do. And I know it brings my parents some peace because I went back to Virginia on Thursday, and I always tell them, oh, I'm going to church Sunday night. I'm going to church Sunday night. And they're like, well, call us when you get home, worried about me. And now they've got to meet people and they see what it's like, and now they, I'm sure, feel a lot more comfortable knowing where I am, at least Sunday nights. But at least they might not know the other nights, but at least Sunday night they know where I am and they feel good. So like Donna said, I did become an ordained minister in '96, and I did speak in front of congregations a few times. And then my life took a turn because I did the typical story, met a guy, moved to Fort Lauderdale, and lived over in the Fort Lauderdale area for over 20 years. Raised my children, dedicated my life to my kids until they got old enough, and then now they both live in Orlando. But getting ready for the speech really was bringing up some kind of insecurities and some fears, because coming here every Sunday night, I've been listening to speakers such as Jay, who is like such a big personality. He commands the attention, and I'm like saying, oh, there's no way I'm going to be like him. Like, he's somebody you see on TV. I'm like, this is not going to happen. And then I have Gonzo, who is a subtle speaker, but still very powerful and definitely commands your attention, but in just a different way. So that led me to the fact that I had to practice pivoting, which is something I'm going to take us through a little exercise tonight. And pivoting is changing your mindset from a negative to a positive. And it's my voice telling me, oh, I'm going to bomb, I'm not going to be good enough, and saying, no, I'm going to be good, and I'm going to relate to everyone in my own way. I'm unique. I'm just different than a different speaking style than Jay and Gonzo. So I admire you guys so much, and I think you guys are wonderful, and I'm really honored to be in your company.
Thank you.
So, like Donna said, I have a book that I had written in 2020, and I'm going to share a few excerpts from my book, and then I'm going to expand on them. So I titled the speech, Change the Way You Look at Your Life and Watch Your Life Change, because life is all about perspective. If you can change your mindset, and if you're looking at something that's troubling you in your life, and you can decide to look at it from a positive perspective, sometimes it's really hard to find a positive silver lining in a cloud, but there's always something that you can hold on to. And if you can hold on to that, you can change the perspective of that situation, and it's going to change your life. So the first excerpt that I'm going to talk about from my book is titled, Use Positive Perspective to Guide Your Life. Now this is directly from my spirit guides, Francisca Leon. I channeled them, and I was doing it on a very regular basis, and then they told me they wanted me to compile the channeled messages that I had and put it into a book, which is what I did. So this is the first excerpt. Your thoughts and your perspective of each and every situation and experience you endure. Perspective is a very personal experience. Every human and being on the planet has a perspective that is unique unto themselves. No two beings will look at the same experience the same way. Having a positive perspective about every experience will lead you down a path of more positive experiences. Focusing on the negative of an experience will take you down a darker path, and your life experience is going to reflect that. You have the power to change your life through your perspective. You have the power to see your life as a glass half full or a glass half empty. You have the power. Your choices are going to teach you lessons, and they're going to help shape your future and create conscious evolution. Conscious evolution is making mindful decisions to improve your life, and it's practicing it on a daily basis, sometimes all day long. And that gives you a lot of power over your life and over your future, because it helps you in the choices that you make, being mindful, making positive choices, and improving yourself, and you're going to see a change in your life. So the practice of changing your thought process is going to take time, possibly years, and it will definitely take until you transform back into the spiritual world to be perfected, because there's no perfection in the physical world. But if you practice and you practice and you practice, it will get easier. And that goes hand in hand with pivoting, which is what I explained earlier, because with pivoting, you are doing an exercise and you're choosing to have a positive perspective about life. You're taking a conscious action of moving from a negative thought to a positive thought, moving from a lower vibration to a higher vibration. It's living in the now, it's being mindful, and it's choosing to take conscious action and to control over your ego self, which is driven by your emotions. You come back to your spiritual self, and you allow the love and the peace to guide you to a higher vibration through pivoting. Meditation is a perfect tool to help you practice pivoting. When you're in a low vibration and you're looking at a situation, you're going to take your focus off of the situation, place it on your breath, and then start to practice pivoting your perspective from a negative to a positive. I'd like to try a quick little exercise right now, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about with the pivoting. Now, for time purposes, I'm going to stop us, but when you're doing this on your own, you just do it until you feel relief. So if you can close your eyes, I want you to close your eyes and focus on your breath. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Hold it. And slowly release. Again, take a long, slow, deep breath in. Hold it. And slowly release. Keep focusing on your breath. You're going to start to feel a little relief. Your thoughts may be a little crazy right now. Just let them come and let them float away. Don't try to control anything. Now bring your attention to something that's been bothering you. Something that has maybe been worrying you, making you stressed out, frustrated. Maybe it's a recurring thought pattern, such as telling yourself you aren't good enough or you can't do something. Bring your focus onto something that is a negative or perceived negative situation. Now envision the positive version of whatever it is that you're focusing on. If you're focusing on being worried, the positive version would be imagining yourself calm and secure in a boat going down a very calm river. If you're focused on negative inner chatter, the positive version would be telling yourself that you are good enough. You can do it. You may need to stay in this place for a while when you're doing it on your own and continue shifting the negative thought to a positive thought. But you're gonna know when to stop. And that's gonna be when you feel relief and peace. And now you can open your eyes. So that's really something that's really simple. And I practice it pretty much constantly. Not constantly, but I practice it all day long. And it just, the more that you do it, it's like anything else, it becomes second nature and it gets faster and faster and easier to do. So if you can practice it daily and as often as needed, it will become second nature. So my next excerpt is using daily affirmations to retrain your brain. And this is the excerpt from my book. Your mind is a playground. Don't let the bully run the playground. Overcoming negative self-talk isn't automatic, but with daily practice, it is absolutely attainable. Your negative self-talk didn't appear overnight. It took years of repetition. It took many experiences. It took daily dedication. To rid the mind of negative self-talk, it is going to take the same rigor and regimen as it did to create it. Now, our greatest influencer is ourselves. We can be our own best friend and we can be our own worst enemy. And a lot of us are our own worst enemy, right? Amen. We have that little voice inside of our heads that can teach us loving words or it can preach hateful words. We have the choice over which voice we are going to allow to dominate our mind. My greatest tool for this is affirmations. Now, Donna had mentioned that I'm working on the illustration of my first children's book, and I'm a writer, so the writing part came really easy, but the illustrating part, not so easy. So I keep pushing it, but my guides said they would like me to finish it by October so I can get it out to the masses by December, but we'll see how that works out. But the story basically is, it's called Princess Everly and Her Magical Friend, and it's a fairy tale about a lonely princess who's up in her room in a tower, and one day she meets a caterpillar. And the caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, and as he is transforming, as he's getting ready to wrap himself up in his cocoon, he tells her that he wants her to do affirmations, so that when he's done and he becomes the butterfly, that she will have done it enough times that she will have retrained her brain too, and she will have transformed herself. So I really think it's important for children. It's kind of ages 2 to 5 is what I'm gearing it towards. But, you know, children face so many low self-confidence issues, and I wish I had done it with my children in hindsight, just starting even from birth, telling them positive affirmations until they could talk and then teaching them how to do it on their own. Even if it's just 5 minutes every morning in the mirror. I just think it's really important, and the children are our future. So we need positive, loving children. And if they don't love themselves, then it's going to be hard to love other people and to love the world, and that's what we need. So you can retrain your brain as well through affirmations. It's going to require you to release all the thoughts that no longer serve you, especially the ones that are self-degrading, the ones that keep you in the lower vibration. To retrain your brain, when you go home or in the morning, you can write like 5 affirmations down on a piece of paper when you get home. I'm worthy, I'm abundant, whatever means something to you. And then you're going to stick that list to your bathroom mirror. And every morning when you wake up, you're going to read those 5 affirmations 3 times. If you can do it out loud, that would be good, but you don't have to. And you can also put notes around your house. You can put it in the kitchen, you can put it in your car, you can put it in your purse, wherever. And if you can do it on a repetitive basis every single day, soon you're going to start to see a difference. You know, it took a lifetime to whatever age you are now to have this automatic way of thinking, and it's going to take a long time to unravel it and make a new pathway of thinking. It's not impossible, but it takes effort. So my next excerpt is choose to live an intuitive, driven life. And the excerpt goes, if you let your intuition guide you, you will live a far richer physical experience than if you allow your ego to be your co-pilot. Your ego is a manifestation of the physical world. It was created by society, and most people use it as a protective shell of their higher self. Each human's ego is developed over time through experience and societal norms. It's not easy to push your ego aside. We live in an ego-driven society. There's so much competition, and everybody worries about what other people think about them. That's like the first thing you need to stop doing, because that's going to always bring you down. Just stop. It's none of your business anyway. Stop worrying about what they think. Your strength lies within your higher spirit. That's always connected to divine spirit. That's where it lies. It's always going to be peaceful. It's always going to be loving. That is the voice of positive love and pure love that you receive. And you can tap in every day through meditation and prayer. My favorite time of day is after I wake up, walk the dog, make my coffee, and sit down and start connecting with my spirit guides and through meditation. And honestly, I tell this to many people, I wish I could live in that zone all day, every day, forever. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, I'm going to be when I transform back into the spiritual realm. So I better enjoy what I got here while I can. But you know, it's just, you're nice and peaceful, and then you walk out into the world, and then you're dealing with other people and traffic and whatever. So honestly, if you can just do 10 minutes of meditation a day, it's going to help be a buffer for the stressors that you're automatically going to have in your life. Just 100%. And remember that your ego is always going to bring you down. It's the voice that always tells you you're not good enough. Always. It places more importance on the physical world rather than the spiritual connection that you have. Intuition doesn't do that. It serves the self selfishly, but it's designed to guide the self to the most positive experiences one can have. If you can learn to trust your intuition and allow it to be your co-pilot, you are going to have the brightest life experience that you can have. And of course, everybody's going to stumble, because there again, we go back to living an automatic life. But if you can try to live a more conscious, mindful life, it's going to keep you mindful to try to pivot and get back to that more intuitive side, higher spirit side versus the ego physical side. Your higher spirit is the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's the lighthouse up on the hill above tumultuous waters. I mean, how often do you, when you're worried, what's the first thing most people do? Even if they don't pray, they pray. You know, my uncle, my mother's brother, you know, he never believed in that, but then when he got really sick and he knew he was getting ready to die, I think he wanted somebody to come and sit with him. And he wasn't a religious person, but when it comes down to it, you know, when you're worried or you're facing your mortality, that's what you do. So if you can focus on that when you're not in those situations, then you can take advantage of the beauty that it's going to bring into your life. Personally, it's what has helped me through my divorce. I'm still kind of flabbergasted that I wasn't a puddle of tears on the floor, curled up in the fetal position, and I'm like, but I relied on my spirituality, and I started really digging deep in it, and I'm just like, people ask me, and I'm just like my sister, and I'm just like, well, it's because of my spirituality. It just has brought me so much peace. So I'm really grateful that I opened myself up and allowed myself to rely on my higher spirit rather than being more in the emotional, physical world, emotions. So my final excerpt is, live in the now, for this is your reality. Every new day is a blessing. Each new day is a new beginning. It's another chance to improve, to grow, to learn, to appreciate, and to rejoice. You always have a restart button to push with each new day. A new chance to get it done better than yesterday. Find appreciation for each and every new day. Take advantage of each day to improve yourself. Strive to be a better version of you than you were yesterday. Be the lighthouse for others. Look at others as if you were looking through the eyes of Christ. Surround them with love and light. Place focus on positive aspects of the situation and keep it there until you find relief. Practice this on a regular basis and you will witness your life change. In closing, I received a message from my spirit guides, Francisco Leon, and they wanted me to share this with you. We understand the physical world can be frustrating and humans have emotions that are not evident in spiritual world beings, but there is a positive to the emotions. The emotions allow you to feel the life experience in the most profound way. If you had no emotions, then you would feel nothing. When you don't feel anything, everything is monotone. It is either negative or it is positive. It is never both. So embrace your emotional system. Don't allow it to control you, but rather you control it. You have the power to do this. How do you do this, you may ask? By pausing and not making reactive decisions or actions. Be proactive. Pause before you make a knee-jerk reaction to something. Don't allow the knee-jerk reactions such as anger, frustration, etc., just because it feels good in the moment. If you pause, giving yourself a few moments to digest what is causing an emotional reaction, take a few deep breaths, and digest what is causing it, then you can control your emotional response and you will be practicing conscious evolution. Whenever other humans are involved, it can be difficult to navigate, especially if the environment is heated and highly emotional, such as anger. It is best to pause, step back, and take yourself out of the element until the anger has passed. The anger may be coming from you, or the anger may be coming from the other human. The anger may be coming from both of you, which causes a highly emotional experience that can be hard to control, but it's not impossible. With practice, you will be able to control your emotions simultaneously. Dear child, never believe coming from a peaceful Christ consciousness as a weakness. On the contrary, it is a strength that few people can exhibit. Everyone possesses the possibility, but few are willing to exhibit it. Rather, they would choose to take the easy road and give in to their emotions, allowing their emotions to control them. We just want you to control your emotions, and whenever you feel overwhelmed by them, ask yourself this question: what would Jesus do? And then come from a Christ-conscious center. All is well, dear child. It really is. Amen. And in closing, I have a quote by Paulo Coelho that I think sums up life pretty well. Maybe the journey isn't so much about becoming anything. Maybe it's about unbecoming everything that isn't really you, so that you can become who you are meant to be in the first place. Thank you.
Reverend Laura, thank you so much. That was outstanding. Thank you.